Howdy guys, we're here for another devlog. This is Devlog3. Spent a lot of time working on these plows. I updated the models a little bit. Still not necessarily in love with them, but they are definitely better than they were. And went through, made the collision checking for the crates in said plows actually work and correct. It gives you a little heads up display too, which is very handy. Uh, so we have a plow here. This is the cedar, or at least I think it is. It looks a lot like the waterer, so hard to tell. But we could put a crate full of seeds in here. So we have 100 potato seeds. Toss that in there, and should be able to run around here with the tractor. So right now I have a tiller. This thing tills. Could turn it on. We got this grass. And just run around tilling the grass. I added particles to kind of help cover up the awkwardness of it just instantly changing. I think it works pretty well. And then we can bust out the old planter. Get in here, plant some potatoes. Gonna go through, plant them. Think I'd be good at keeping this thing straight, considering I made the game, but I guess not. And then we can go ahead and water it. Harvesting comes when it's fully grown. These crops do have stages. Different crops have different stages of growth, different amounts of days it takes. Right now there isn't necessarily a way to move it to the next stage. We're in a weird period where I don't know how I want to do the day nights, but yeah. So there we go. We got farming. It's looking pretty good. It's a lot better than it was. We actually ran out of seeds, so it does use up the seeds that you plant. Then this is a harvester. The idea is you take the harvester, put a crate here, and then everything you harvest will just go into the crate, which is pretty cool. Another thing I've been working on is the shadow maps. So if I TPG 300 by 300, you can kind of see what the headaches that I've been dealing with here. Spent honestly more time on this than anything, but you can see here we have a lot of this is called shadow acne, and there's also some Peter Panning is what they call it. It's pretty much the shadow acne is just like, yeah, we're missing, the sun is right there. Shadow should go all the way down, but it doesn't quite. And then also this hugely jagged lines on the shadow is just disgusting looking. I've been spending a lot of time trying to change the resolution around, changing the size of like the view, changing the biases. That's what these four over here numbers are, biases. I'm working on sloped based biasing. It just seems to me that it is what it is. It's kind of what I understand, and I really don't like that. I do want to find a better solution. And it really only happens on stuff like on this wall, which is really weird, because everything like that's drawn to the floor looks just fine. Everything on the floor looks good. Kind of weird that my head's like floating here, but whatever. The head shadow at least, but um, and the plants look pretty good. Uh, Trees look fine for the most part. It's really just an issue of casting onto a wall. That's kind of like where things become problematic. If I could find a way to fix this, I'd love to, but I'm not sure. So that's something I've been working on. So I spent probably 8 hours yesterday. I'm not exaggerating. Frustratingly looking at this and trying to find a solution to it. It's also like weird artifacts where you can just no light right there, even though there definitely should be. really frustrating. So I'm just gonna keep an eye out for like new methods. Keep tweaking it, and either with this current method I'm doing, I'll just magically find like a sweet spot that just works, or I'll switch to something else. I don't really want to do like just fake shadows, where every single model in the game just has like a shadow and like image, and then I just like draw the image coming off of it to the side or something. Like that would work just fine for some things, but other things it just no, it just wouldn't work. And also that's just a lot of extra draw um, things. I mean, right now with the shadow map, I do have to draw everything twice, or pretty much everything twice, which sucks. Adds a lot of lag. So if I could find a solution that doesn't have me draw everything twice, would be kind of awesome. But yeah. Anyways, so that's where we're at with that. I think that's it. I think that's all I've worked on. It really just that shadow map. I just don't know a better solution. Ray tracing to me just seems like overkill, and also like would be laggy. And another thing that I'm worried about with these shadow maps is right now I'm using a shadow map texture that is 4096 by 4096, which off the top of my, I think it's like 400 megabytes or something like that, which is, you know, a lot. And so, graphics card that only has 1 gig of VRAM or less, I don't want to just completely isolate an entire um, group of people that don't have a lot of VRAM just for shadows in a game like this. You know what I mean? Like this isn't like, I don't know. It's just, to me, it feels weird. So, but yeah, that's where we're at. That's what we're working on. Hopefully I can find a solution to the shadow maps. Hopefully I can, if not, I can find a sweet spot or what have you. And then I think, in the meantime, we're going to go ahead, just flush out the town, add the quests, add the upgrading of buildings, and really just try to get this game from like a weird like testing area where it's at, where really nothing means anything. It's just all testing, to an actual game where like we're actually doing stuff with purpose. So that's really what we're going to start working on next, or I guess what I want to start working on next. But yeah, all right. Well, thank you for your time. Have a good day.